Alright everyone, now we have to talk about the fire department of New York. New York City, of course. Their leadership appears to be insane. Laticia James was holding a little event at a Christian center, no less, the other day to mark the first female chaplain actually there. And I'm going to read some of this verbatim because, link in the description, archived of course. It makes absolutely no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. The New York City Fire Department issued a scolding to firefighters it says brought discredit to the department after booing New York Attorney General Laticia James, that's the one that persecuted Donald Trump recently, and cheering for former President Trump at a promotion ceremony last week, warning those who took part to protest on their own time, according to reports. The department handed out a memo at firehouses across New York City on Sunday that said the FDNY's Bureau of Investigations and Trials, or BITS, is combing through video to identify those who took part in the behavior. Firefighters should understand that BITS is gathering info and identifying members that brought discredit to this department, read the memo obtained by the Post. We want the members to come forward. They will come to HQ and to be re-educated. Educated on why their behavior is unacceptable. The memo also advised firefighters not to express political views while on duty. Now, I'm of two minds here. First, if you are a taxpayer-funded official, so you're a cop, a judge, a firefighter, etc., there is a different litmus test with regards to your free speech with regards to politics. I acknowledge that. That's number one. But number two, if they had cheered for Laticia James, would they have gotten in trouble for that? No, they wouldn't have gotten in any trouble at all. Well, there's a little bit of a double standard. So you're allowed to express glee or happiness with a particular political official at an event, but you're not allowed to express any form of displeasure. That's kind of a double standard and doesn't really make sense. And the idea of having some sort of Gestapo going out there to identify which firefighters decided to boo the glorious and brave Laticia James, that's a little bit on the nose politically now, isn't it? It's effectively the leadership of the fire department there in New York City being at odds with apparently a significant core of its actual members. The lay firefighter that goes out and actually risks their lives, therefore, is not allowed to have a political opinion. But the department at large is perfectly allowed to have an ostensible political opinion by inviting her in the first place. I congratulate these firefighters for speaking out. I think it should happen more often. And in fact, if they were to go on strike, all hell would break loose because, you get fires in a city as large as New York City and, some bad shit might go down. I don't think that the commissioner is the one responding to the calls now, is he? No, of course not. I don't think Laticia James is not going to save your kitten from your next house fire. She's just a politician. She's an elected official. I think that if you're going to be able to cheer a person at such an event, you should also be able to boo them. It wasn't heckling. It was just a brief expression of displeasure based on the fact that she is not really doing her job. She ran on the issue of persecuting Donald Trump. She did that objectively. She did it publicly. That was part of her selling point, actually, to become the Attorney General there. The leadership of the Fire Department of New York City is therefore insane. They should not have put out a memo like this in any way, shape, or form. I'll continue, just a sec. When you're not on duty, feel however you want about politicians, the memo said. Vote, protest, that's your right. But don't do it on the job's time, on other members' time, or their family's time. Do it on your own time. Okay, so again, you're allowed to cheer the public official, a partisan political figure, but you're not allowed to express any form of displeasure with them. If this had been a case where, let's say the Attorney General there, or a prosecutor, whoever it happens to be, a congressperson, is addressing the firefighters and they boo, and the person happened to be a conservative political figure, would we see this memo being circulated? I dare think not. I do not believe that to be the case. The fact is that they're just covering ass for Laticia James because quite clearly people are pissed off at her lack of doing her job, and the firefighters in New York City generally have a pretty damn good reputation, certainly better than the NYPD. No offense to any NYPD out there, but I'm sure you're based if you're a clanker, but yeah, some of your compatriots are dipping into the drugstore, it seems. They have a high reputation. a very good one. And I think that the worry is that that's politically damaging to Laticia James. And then, the leadership there, of course, they're in cahoots with the prosecutorial system, of course. All of these bureaucrats love one another and fuck one another on a regular basis. And I'm sure that they can supply Laticia James with whatever unidentified white powder that she needs from the drug lockup. And so they're really, really upset about that. The controversy began after booing erupted as James walked up to the podium to honor the swearing-in of the first black female chaplain of the FDNY, the Reverend Pamela Holmes, as well as other first responders at a promotion ceremony on Thursday at the Christian Cultural Center in Brooklyn. Then I got confused, because I'm like, wouldn't you be more concerned about the fact that taxpayer money was being used to pay someone to do an honoring ceremony in a religious organization, in a religious structure? I would think that would be more of the problem. But no, they found a way to make something else a side issue, I suppose. Let them boo who they want. I'd boo Laticia James as well. If you're taxpayer funded, again, there is a different litmus test. That litmus test is not always evenly applied. If it's in the context of booing or heckling someone who's on the far left, as Laticia James is, you get in trouble for that. If it's booing or heckling someone who's, let's say, a libertarian or a populist, nobody seems to have any qualms about it. There's no internal memo. There's no excoriation of what you've done. There's a double standard employed. This is the differential enforcement aspect of the law that I've had a problem with for years and years and talked about many times. It's not so much the rule being applied, it's misapplication and it's differential application. So heckling Laticia James, oh my God, clutch your pearls, a terrible day. It's a disgrace to our department. If Donald Trump got up there on stage and he was addressing the firefighters in New York and he got booed, nobody would have a goddamn problem with it now, would they? There's a big difference between the two. That's about all. Peace out.